Martin Brundle and David Croft reportedly fired from Sky F1 over their outspoken criticism of Red Bull's Max Verstappen. Meanwhile, McLaren's team boss has shockingly suggested that Lando Norris take out Verstappen during this weekend's Las Vegas Grand Prix. In other news, Lance Stroll may be the most secure driver on the F1 2024 grid, but he won't be the one Aston Martin rely on to win a title in an Adrian Newey car. Welcome to F1 Real Time. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Former Formula One champion Damon Hill has announced his departure from Sky Sports F1 after a 13-year tenure as a pundit, a move that has sparked discussions about the network's direction and the future of its longtime commentators, Martin Brundle and David Croft. Hill's decision follows a storm of criticism for his comments on Max Verstappen, which he received after the Mexican Grand Prix. Former Sky pundit Johnny Herbert, who faced a similar exit in 2022, hinted at potential changes within Sky's team and offered insight into Hill's departure. Hill, the 1996 world champion, stirred controversy with remarks suggesting Verstappen lacks the capability for fair racing, describing it as not in his repertoire after the Dutchman was penalized for incidents with Lando Norris in Mexico. These comments unleashed a wave of backlash, which Herbert believes played a role in Hill's decision to step away. He was very unhappy at the crazy level of abuse he got over his Max comments. Maybe all that negativity made him decide to leave. In reflecting on Hill's departure, Herbert expressed concerns about the future of Sky F1 stalwarts Martin Brundle and David Croft, who have been with the broadcaster since it acquired Formula One rights in 2012. There's change going on. If Hill is pushed, then you wonder what could happen to Martin Brundle and David Croft. While Hill's departure has been framed as a mutual decision, Herbert speculated whether dissatisfaction or external pressures prompted the move, citing his own experience of being let go by Sky F1. Announcing his departure on social media, Hill expressed gratitude for his time with Sky, praising his colleagues as the most impressive bunch of professionals it has ever been my pleasure to have worked with. It's been a fantastic 13 years with Sky Sports F1, but all good things come to an end. Looking forward to new challenges. The timing of Hill's departure comes as the F1 2024 season approaches its conclusion, with Max Verstappen on the verge of securing his fourth consecutive world championship. He needs to outscore Lando Norris by 3 points at this weekend's Las Vegas Grand Prix to claim the title, making him only the second driver in history to win his first 4 titles consecutively. Meanwhile, McLaren CEO Zak Brown has urged Lando Norris to challenge Max Verstappen aggressively but fairly as the duo's on-track rivalry continues to intensify in the closing stages of the F1 2024 season. Brown emphasized that driving into rivals is not McLaren's style, as tensions between Norris and Verstappen reach a boiling point ahead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. While Verstappen has dominated Formula One over the past 2 seasons with a record-breaking 19 wins in 2023, this year has seen the Dutchman pushed harder than ever. Despite his 62-point lead over Norris and a near-certain 4th consecutive world championship, Verstappen's path has been marred by incidents with his former travel companion and post-race celebrant. The rivalry took a sharp turn at the Red Bull Ring, where the two made contact, both suffering punctures. While they patched things up with a phone call, the friendship further frayed in Austin and Mexico. Austin. Norris was penalized for passing Verstappen off the track, though the penalty was mitigated as Verstappen had pushed him wide. Mexico. Verstappen received 10-second penalties, first for forcing Norris off the track, and then for an illegal overtake that pushed the McLaren driver perilously close to the wall. Norris labeled Verstappen's actions in Mexico as dangerous, a sentiment that underscored their increasing animosity. Reflecting on the escalating tension, Brown defended Norris's approach while cautioning against retaliatory tactics, reminiscent of Lewis Hamilton's contentious battles with Verstappen during their 2021 title fight. Lando drove brilliantly in Austin. The only thing he could have done differently would have been to drive into Max's car. But that's not our style, and not Lando's either. Acknowledging Verstappen's penchant for pushing the boundaries, Brown stressed the importance of setting clear limits without resorting to unsportsmanlike behavior. Max is an incredible racing driver who pushes the rules to the limit. But you have to show him where the limits are. If that's not done, there will be scenes like the one between Lewis and Max in 2021, when Lewis said to himself, "Enough is enough." Norris's ability to rise to the occasion has come under scrutiny from pundits like Eddie Jordan, who question whether the Briton has what it takes to become a great world champion. However, Brown dismissed such doubts, praising Norris for his hard yet fair racing style and highlighting the broader discussions sparked by their recent on-track clashes. With Verstappen poised to clinch the title by outscoring Norris by just 3 points in Las Vegas, the final tripleheader of the season promises fireworks. For Norris and McLaren, the focus remains on fighting until the end while maintaining their integrity on and off the track. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll's future in Formula One is among the most secure on the grid, thanks to the support of his father and Aston Martin team owner, Lawrence Stroll. However, questions persist about whether the Canadian driver can deliver the results needed to achieve the team's lofty ambitions, especially with Adrian Newey set to join as the team's design mastermind in 2025. Since Lawrence Stroll's acquisition of Force India in 2018 and its subsequent transformation into Aston Martin, the team has undergone significant evolution. New state-of-the-art facilities, a cutting-edge wind tunnel, and a recruitment drive for top engineering talent underscore its aim to fight for world championships. Yet, while Aston Martin has employed seasoned champions like Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso, the team's other seat has remained firmly occupied by Lance Stroll, a driver whose record has consistently been eclipsed by his teammates. Currently sitting on just 24 points compared to Alonso's 62 in 2024, Stroll's performances continue to fuel debate. His most recent low point came in Brazil, where he beached his car on the formation lap, attempting to navigate a sodden gravel trap. Critics, including former karting rival Jarno Opmeer and commentator Olaf Mol, have questioned his place in F1, with Mol disparagingly comparing Stroll's intelligence to a dead dinosaur egg. Despite the criticism, BBC journalist Andrew Benson argues that Stroll's seat is secure for as long as he desires it. People who know Lawrence Stroll well and have worked for him believe he bought an F1 team for his son, and his big ambition is for Lance to become world champion, Benson explained in a Q&A. The upcoming arrival of Adrian Newey, F1's most celebrated design engineer, signals Aston Martin's intent to compete at the pinnacle of the sport. But even with Newey's expertise, doubts remain about Stroll's ability to lead the team to championship success. Lance Stroll clearly has talent, Benson admitted, citing his standout wet-weather pole at Turkey in 2020. But he is yet to prove he can put in this sort of performance other than very occasionally. On a general level, Stroll has been slower than every teammate he has had in F1, other than Sergei Sorokin in 2018. With Alonso contracted until 2026, Stroll's future as Aston Martin's flagship driver is even murkier. Should Alonso depart, the team is likely to recruit another leading driver who, based on historical evidence, would likely outperform Stroll. The broader question is not just about Stroll's performance, but also the team's future. If Lance Stroll were to step away, Benson wonders whether Lawrence Stroll would remain invested in Aston Martin as an F1 entity. For now, the elder Stroll's ownership guarantees Lance's position. But as the team looks to capitalize on Newey's arrival and his extensive investments, the pressure to deliver results both for Stroll and Aston Martin will only intensify. Whether Lance Stroll can rise to the challenge remains the pivotal